This just in, it came down to the 72nd hole of the Genesis Invitational for 25-year-old Ludvig Aberg, and in his 40th PGA start, the Swede picks up his second career PGA Tour win with a one-stroke win over Patrick McDonald, 3 strokes better than world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. Ludvig Aberg, your winner of the 2025 Genesis Invitational. Aberg shooting a 6 under 66 in the final round. McDonald went real low, went out in 30, held the lead for a good portion of the time, but couldn't hang on as he finishes one stroke behind Aberg. Scotty Scheffler scuffled throughout the weekend at Torrey Pines. Came up just short, 3 strokes off the winning score, but still all alone, tied with Patrick Rogers in 3rd place for the world number 1. But afterwards, only the winner gets to talk to Amanda Balionis.
After coming down with that sickness that knocked you out at this course just a few weeks ago, what does it feel like to now be the champion here at Torrey Pines? Yeah,
I was walking down one of the last holes. I can't remember which one. I told Joe this Sunday's a little bit more fun than the last one we had. So yeah, it was awesome. It was a great fight. Obviously the golf course is tough, but felt like I was in control of the ball flight all day, and really proud of the way that I finished. It was really cool.
Talk about that fight on the back 9. You said to me yesterday, whew, this back 9 can really take it out of you. You went on to birdie 4 of your last 6 and an incredible par on 12. Where did that fight come from, and how'd you get it done? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, the putt on 12 was big because at that point I think the lead was at 12 and I was at putt to stay at 8. So it was sort of like, hey, I kind of need to make this, and I did, which was nice. And then, yeah, like you said, went off and make a couple of birdies. So that was nice. It was awesome. It's so much fun kind of coming down to the last couple holes trying to win a tournament. It really is a special feeling, and I'm proud of the way that I fought today.
Put in perspective how cool it is to win the tournament hosted by Tiger Woods. Your team told me he watched you hit shots for about 10 minutes straight during TGL a couple of weeks ago. I can't imagine what that was like, but to now win his golf tournament, what does Tiger Woods mean to you and, of course, to the PGA Tour in a moment like this?
Yeah, I mean, he is the GOAT. It's pretty cool. I mean, everything that he's done, everyone who's idolized him growing up, I was the same. I was watching Tiger videos on YouTube and watching every tournament that I could, and he means a lot to our game, and to win this event is it's quite surreal.
We appreciate the time, Ludvig. Congratulations.
Ludvig Aberg puts himself in some fine company. Winners of the Genesis Invitational Tigers tournament. A site change from Riviera because of the LA fires down to Torrey Pines this year, but Aberg joins the likes of Hideki Matsuyama, John Rahm, I mean, the name Adam Scott and Max Homa, and they're all big winners, and Ludvig Aberg is on pace to be one of the next big ones on the PGA Tour. Birdieing 4 of his last 6 holes. Patrick McDonald's the one that came out quick, burning 9 of his first 13, but it's Aberg who wins by 1 at the Genesis Invitational, as seen on CBS. And our coverage is presented by the new QI35 drivers from TaylorMade. We welcome in CBS Sports lead golf analyst Trevor Immelman. And Trevor, nothing quite like a competitive finish all the way down to the 72nd hole. And Ludvig Aberg, it almost feels fait accompli for this guy who competes and contends almost everywhere he goes. What are we watching develop with this young 25-year-old from Sweden now that he's a winner for the 2nd time on tour?
Well, I said it on the broadcast. I firmly believe he's a future superstar and a future world number 1. He was 6th in the world rankings coming into this week. Just 25 years old. Now he gets this signature win, Tiger Woods' tournament. This is going to be so huge for him going forward. But he has taken, really, the tour by storm. Look, story 1A over the last few seasons is Scotty Scheffler and his amazing play. But right behind him is this youngster that has come through the ranks, come through Texas Tech, and just played brilliant golf, winning twice now on the PGA Tour, on the DP World Tour, Ryder Cup winner in Italy. He is legit, and we're going to be able to have a great time watching him for many, many years to come.
Look, we saw Ludvig last year at Augusta National finish in 2nd place in his first time playing the Masters. Scotty Scheffler, of course, won that event. What are your expectations for Ludvig in his 2nd go-around at Augusta?
Well, the sky's the limit. He has every single attribute that you would want. If you were putting pieces together and you were making a Hall of Fame golfer, he has all of those pieces. He has the size. He has the strength. He has the power off of the tee. He's able to launch the long irons way up into the air if conditions get firm. And then he has the touch. He has the insides. He has the guts to really get it done when it matters, just like he did today. Patrick McDonald was coasting. Made the silly bogey at 14 with the wedge from the middle of the fairway. But for Ludvig to be able to birdie 4 of the last 6, to snatch this tournament from Maverick, golly, that was impressive and a lot of fun for us to watch up here in the booth.
All right, and look, Scotty Scheffler probably wasn't a whole lot of fun for him to watch that because he was sort of scuffling around this course this weekend. Always finding ways out of it, but not quite enough to get over the hump. But where does Scotty's game need to be as we get closer now to the first major of the season?
Yeah, look, he's so good. His floor is so high that even when his game is a little off, he still has a chance to win come Sunday. I think watching him here the first few starts of the season, he's going to have to tighten up the driver a little bit. Too many double crosses. You know, he loves to play the little fade. This week, a few times I saw him aim down the left for that little fade, and he would miss to the left. That's unusual. It's not what we saw last year, and so I anticipate him cleaning that up as we get to the Florida swing, and it won't be long before he's in the winner's circle.
And that is CBS Sports lead golf analyst Trevor Immelman after Ludvig Aberg wins the Genesis Invitational. Trevor, thanks so much. Next time we see you, I believe you will be in Augusta, Georgia.
Let's go. Can't wait.
Yes, sir. Hey, unlock another level of off the tee and experience more distance from more of the face with the new QI 35 drivers from TaylorMade. Scan the QR code to learn more.
But there's 6 feet 9 inches separating Ludvig from a tie for first to victory. Ludvig Aberg takes Tigers tournament.
CBS Sports HQ's coverage of the Genesis Invitational presented by the new QI 35 drivers from TaylorMade. Russ Thaler here in studio, joined by Rick Gehman and Patrick McDonald from CBS Sports and the First Cut podcast. And Ludvig Aberg, gentlemen. Pat, I'm starting with you. What is it about this 25-year-old that makes him special?
Can I say D, all of the above, Russ? I mean, this guy has all the tools you want, all the tangibles, right? He's a generational driver of the golf ball. The iron play is much improved from his rookie season in 2023. It seems like he's adding more and more shots from around the green. I mean, he holed out from every greenside bunker, it seemed like, this week, and then he's finally gotten the putter in a really good spot. I thought that 4 to 10 foot range, even this week, even in the victory, wasn't great, but when he needed it the most, he got it done there on 18. And then you add in the intangibles as well. It seems like nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, affects this guy. Remember his runner-up finish in his Masters debut. It seemed like it was just another stroll through the park for him, and I think these wins are just going to keep on coming.
Yeah, it's the stuff that you can see on the box score. He hits it far, he hits it straight, he hits a lot of greens, he makes a lot of putts. But I think what gives us the warm and fuzzies is how succinct his golf swing is. It doesn't look like there is any room for error. It doesn't look like anything is ever going to go wrong, which is super projectable out for the future. Those are the types of swings that give you a lot of longevity on the PGA Tour and in professional golf. Think about Louis Oosthuizen, think about Adam Scott. So that is one part of it as well. And then Patrick also nailed the other intangible, which is this calm, cool collectiveness that he has every single time he hits a shot. He plays quickly. He has no scar tissue. You could tell that there's never a spot where he's uneasy or bothered by something. And when you put all of those factors together, it makes this really optimal modern player. So that is why we've been so excited about Ludvig Aberg, and now he gets to put another win on the resume. today.
Yeah, look, expectations were already there for this guy. Everyone around the golf world knew about his talent, knows about how consistently he seems to be in the top 10 and the top 5, and now has won for the second time on the PGA Tour. But I got to imagine that as we head towards Augusta, the pressure's only going to amount because the expectations now are going to get higher. Patrick, he finished second at the Masters last year. I mean, are we to expect that he does himself one better already just because of this now?
I think long term, you had to look at this guy as a potential multiple-time major winner, right? A guy who could threaten the world #1. Who knows how long this Scottie Scheffler reign goes for? But you have to remember, last year was his first go-around in major championships, and he acquitted himself pretty damn good. You mentioned that runner-up there at Augusta National. The PGA Championship, he arrived with a bum knee. He missed the cut, but he bounced back there at the U.S. Open, held the 36-hole lead, got some really good experience in that third round alongside eventual champion Bryson DeChambeau. So he understands when things aren't going his way, how his body's going to react. And like Rick mentioned, the swing is just absolutely beautiful. It's so efficient. We liken him to an AI model. And so, yeah, I think it is fair to assume that this major championship run that he has been on in only 4 major championship appearances can only get better.
I think there's going to be a pretty big delta between the expectations that we cast on Ludvig Aberg and the expectations that he casts upon himself. We're going to be foaming at the mouth come the first full week of April. He is going to be a trendy selection across the industry to get the job done in just the second Masters tournament. But let's be real here. This is a golf course at Augusta National that usually requires a lot of experience. He has a very savvy caddy in Joe Scavrin on the bag. They are going to go out there and they're just going to go through their routine. They are going to go through their process. They are going to treat every shot around Augusta National like they treat every shot at every course. So I think if you could give Ludvig a little bit of truth serum when we get to the Masters, I do not think he's going to be feeling any pressure from himself. But yes, we're going to be talking about it and we're going to be expecting big things out of him.
Hey, Rick, will other golfers be feeling pressure from him maybe? Because we see the world #1, Scottie Scheffler, scuffling around a little bit on the weekend at Torrey Pines, still in third place at the end of the day, defending champ at Augusta National. Where does Scottie's game fit now into where he wants to be maybe come April at Augusta?
Well, I think the bad news for Scottie is that he was miserable at Torrey Pines. It's probably some of the worst golf I've ever seen him play. He had trouble finding fairways all 4 days. He didn't putt particularly well. His Saturday round was dismal. Oh, by the way, still finished in a tie for third. That's the great takeaway. I think that Scottie Scheffler proves week in and week out that he is head and shoulders above the rest of the world. I believe that he had maybe his C- stuff this week, and he nearly beat everybody else who was teeing it up in a signature event. So I think that Scottie does a very good job with his caddy, Ted Scott, framing their week. I think that they will find a lot of positives from Torrey Pines, from La Jolla, that they'll take moving forward. But the rest of the world should be terrified about Scottie's 2025 because it's going to be massive.
Especially when you think, Rick, this is a guy who missed a bunch of tournament action, too. We aren't even discussing the injury that happened this offseason and all the play that he missed at the Century and the American Express because of that hand injury and making ravioli Christmas Day dinner. And so he said after the round that he's given himself some grace. He's like, hey, guys, I'm not like Tiger Woods where I can come back from a surgery and win in my first start off. I need time to get this competitive rust off. And like you mentioned with all the statistics there, it was a very rusty performance this week. Scottie Scheffler was not good. He hit 5 fairways on Friday. He shot the highest score on Saturday. And like Rick mentioned, despite all of that, despite all the bad that happened at Torrey Pines, he had a chance on the back 9 today to still win this golf tournament. So he has a great head on his shoulders. They're going to take all the positives from this. And who knows, maybe he can go back-to-back there at Augusta National.
Hey, guys, as a fan of golf, it doesn't get a whole lot better than layering and layering the storylines and the favorites and the people playing well as we get closer to Augusta National and the Masters coming up and not too long. So this is a lot of fun from the Genesis Invitational. That's Rick Gehman and Patrick McDonald. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And remember, check these guys out on the First Cut podcast. Everything golf all the time. They take you inside the ropes of the PGA Tour and beyond. Download and follow the First Cut podcast wherever you podcast or scan the QR code right there.